Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. Red Blur Gaming here. We are going to rip into some painting. Trying to finish off these when... Oh, right, a bit of paint on my actual fingers there, that's interesting. Trying to finish off these fire knife crisis suits. So we're just going to dip in and do a little bit of painting on the parts that I want to paint silver, and then we can work our way around getting these models done and off onto, being able to get on the table, based, finished, completed, and have more of the army done. Obviously I ran a different particular army, well, we won't call it different models in a different configuration. On the weekend I ran experimental prototype, but I believe I'm going to switch over. I'm definitely not believing, I'm going to switch over to what would be considered retaliation cadre, because I think it will work better for my playstyle, the way I like to play the game, which will make things a little easier. So that requires me to finish off painting these, as you can see, these fire knife crisis suits, which is what I'm doing at the moment. I have panel lined the models, so that is at least done. They were primed, they were dry brushed. That is the process that I like to use. Just makes things a little different and gives me a different highlight gradient technique. And I thought it was something cool to try and do. So I've really got like 3 of these things that we've got to put some, at the moment, that we've really got to put some metallics on as we get through the models itself, because we're going to have to do some more interesting things are going to have to be done in order to push my paint score from, I scored 700 out of a possible 1,000. So that just means I've just got to get a little better, become a little bit more expansive, and get some battle damage and weathering in, because they're the things that I haven't really added to the models. So for the time being, actually, while I'm thinking about this, let's get in here, and we have this Crude Rider, and we are going to paint the nozzle of this gun. We're going to also paint that silver, because the barrel will be black. The barrel will be black, and it will be black and then dry brushed. Geez, going well. Speaking extremely well. Dry brushed silver over the black, just to give a bit of a different look there, which I've done over the last couple of stealth suit barrels, giving them a black paint and then a dry brushing of silver, just to change the way that they look, make it look a little cooler, with the hope that the different style of painting really stood out, and I'd hoped that my painting skills had improved enough that I would score better. I can say I think I scored slightly higher than previously, possibly, but it didn't feel like it at the time when I was seeing my paint scores. I was like, what's going on here? I'm a little bit confused as to what I'm not doing enough of to score high enough. So I'm just going to jump in now, and we move into the next stage of what I want to do, which is start getting the black on these feet and legs of the crisis suits, because then that is going to make life so much simpler, and we can get through these guys a little quicker. But let's at the moment fly through this get the black down, and you know we've got a few videos that have got to get completed. I do have to do a recap. I've got recaps ready to go. Well, bits and pieces ready to go for recaps for the tournament. Photos that got taken, and I mean, like, I took 10 photos for every game, all the way, you know, all 5 turns, photos from each end. There is also a image of the overall score, and a little bit of detail in terms of what happened in each round, and then I'll be able to just talk through the game itself my way, and yeah, get those videos up. Aim of the game is to get them all up in the next week or so. So I will attempt to record them all tomorrow, hopefully, is the gist of when I will record. And that way stuff is moving along, and I'm not going overly slow, because I did take me a freaking, excuse the French, it took me way too long to get the Bendigo Open videos done and posted, and that really did actually frustrate me personally, to be honest. I'm quicker than that, better than that, so I don't know what I did, how I made such a boo-boo on that. Funniest thing is, I'm trying to dodge something that I've painted black on every other goddamn model for some weird reason. Like, just paint that part black, you deal. But yeah, so that is the hope that, stop running away from it. The hope that I can get all of that completed and up on ASAP, up on by the end of the week. All 5 videos. The goal is, or the hope is, that they'll all be uploaded and ready for your viewing pleasure. But yeah, so let's crack into these feet. Get these feet done. A bit of a fast pace here, because, you know, as for Aussie slang, we're not here to fuck spiders. I'm sorry, YouTube, if swearing gets me banned. That's going to be rather annoying. But it is an Aussie colloquialism to say that. It is very much in our nature to say the random shit that happens. But yeah, Ratcon was hilarious fun. As per normal, they have the craziest missions for you to participate in as the rounds go through. They all have little twists and whatnot. And you get to have a laugh with your opponent about stuff. And as again, you always get a little model. Basically, last year I didn't get a chance to collect mine, but it was like little crystals that were painted by one of the boys. This year was a little warlock. A couple of years ago was a piece of cheese. My very first rat tournament was some cheese. And that's always a good laugh, because you just don't know what you're going to get, what it's going to do. The boys even wrote rules for the actual model so that it was usable in game, just to give everyone a little bit of something to say thanks for coming. We also got dice trays, very nicely made leather, definitely leather dice trays, which again, look, the Ratcon boys are a special bunch. Hamilton and Lockie, they are awesome blokes, and if they actually are following the channel, thank you very much. I goddamn well hope they are, because they should be. And if they're not, I will have to have words with them. But yeah, so we have Radicalism tickets went up for sale this morning. I've got to jump on that over the next couple of weeks I've got to remember to buy a ticket, and that'll be that done. And that is April next year. And so between then and now, like basically what we're going to be doing is, as you can see, I've already got the 3, and these are fire knife suits. I've got the 3 primed. They're in the midst of being painted, and this will give me a second fire knife suit, which I'm going to have to go and find my 2 other commander boxes that are sprues that are stacked away with commanders waiting in the wings to be built, so that I can have extra commanders. I've got the list that I want to run. I do need another ghost keel, so I'm going to have to figure that out. I may wait till the friendly local game store, the boys at Guff, have their Christmas sale on Boxing Day, and attempt to pick up a ghost keel then, because they do great discounts at Christmas. It covers the entire store. So if you have a Guff that is local to you in Victoria, get in there and support your local Guff at Christmas, and pick up some awesome miniatures and other bits and pieces with their amazing discount that runs on Boxing Day, their Boxing Day sale. It also covers off their online, so if you were to buy something off their website on Boxing Day, you also access those discounts. You can order to the store and pick up. It actually makes it cheaper. I do this quite regularly, even if it means ordering from, say, a different store to send to Bendigo. It saves me time and money. The boys just message me and let me know what it's in. So yeah, we've done the legs there quickly. Nice and simple. You know, we've done a little bit of silver. But yeah, right now that is probably a short video. We might actually look at while I'm going, because you know I'm in a bit of a go mood at the moment. Let's rip into this bad boy, because we hadn't quite finished off the Crutox, and let's get into painting his toesies and feet, because that is then another part of the model done, and actually will help with being thoroughly worked around. Also gives me something to do for 30 seconds. Well, not 30 seconds. Well, not 30 seconds, but you catch my drift. It helps me paint more of the model. I'm going to get in and do his butt there. Working all the way around. We're going to go a little bit haywire, because we want to make sure we get everything we need, frills and all. And then we can look at, because we are working our way around this model may need a second coat of the blue really to get everything in. May have been a little bit cautious when painting the first time round, because we didn't want to get spill onto other parts, but because this blue is such a light blue, the colours that will go in next will be much darker, so they'll actually take over those previous colours and kind of remove the blue from what's going on, so it's not going to be such a too much of an issue. As you can see there, I'm not really worrying too much. Just going to get all this done and paint on, because that'll allow. I actually really should have gone in the thinking about those knuckles in the back there, and I'm going with like a pinky colour, which I probably still can do because I've got a couple of pinks there. To give it a palm, something different. We'll just whack the blue in there anyway, and then work it around everywhere else because that's what we're doing. We are working. Going to go in with a pink underbelly, I think was the plan. I'm just going to get a few more of these areas looked at. You can always come back over, as I said, with other colours to fix some of these issues. And as we go through, it'll actually probably help. There we go. Some excess paint in there, and then we'll go in. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Just getting all this paint in with all these areas where eventually I'll go back through, and as I said, with different colours be able to pick out some of those other bits and pieces and change what the colours that have gone on, so that there is you know, some definition and a little bit of interest and the ability to do what we need to do. But as you can see, this fella, who is his first time being painted, is got a second round of blue on. Also means that I can now go in and hit up this fella, and we'll get in here and we'll try and, as I said, not be too brash, but also get in, paint the bits that need to be painted. He's got his little headrest thing on, mask. Paint his hands. Oh, that's actually not a hand. That's not even part of. That's part of the gun. It's a little bit crazy on my half. Torso. Just get this sucker. Technically, get some blue on there as best as we can. Or this is not really called blue. It's a. Oh, he's got a specialised. Glove per se by the looks of that, although we will just run blue all over just to make sure we're getting everything, and then we can come back and, as I said, fix stuff up later on. It's just all about getting the colour on the model, which we've done so. There's silver on the end, a bit of black there. We are looking at one of these models, which, let's go with this one. And we are going to paint the stripe for the sergeant. So yeah, as you now can see, we are identifying the sergeant via this particular. What I'm doing is identifying the sergeant via this band stripe, which then allows me to let it dry. Point out the sergeant in every unit. It gives me a unit a little bit of something different, a little bit of colour added to it. But yeah. Anyway, guys, that is all from me for now for that one. We'll see you in the next one. If you love what I'm doing, if you've stayed this long, thank you very much. And bye for now.